This is a very effective way to prepare your partner to be helpful for your workout. He's not going to be stubborn. He's not going to try to prove how strong he is. See, we're creating a trust between each other. Plus, we're warming up, stretching up the whole body from the toes to the head. Here's the playing basketball. First of all, you have to close your eyes. It helps to learn how to sense each other, how to sense the hand, how to, first of all, keep your balance, and how to warm up your legs. Here's a perfect way to stretch your foot, because of for practicing leg locks, especially ankle locks, it's necessary. Here's the elbow. Nose and ears also very important, because of either one or another can be broken after different submissions. I'm just showing here how important it is and where are location of the dangerous spots of the body. So basically in the front it's a central line, on the back it's 2 lines nearby spine, and I'm just showing right now 2 points under line of a knee pad. Here I'm showing how important it is to use all parts of your body, and how important to have all working parts tight. If it's not tight, it's not right. I just came up with this. Here I'm showing how important to get your center of your gravity under his center of gravity. So any moves comes easy, without any problems. Again, I'm coming high, doesn't work. He can throw me up. Coming lower, no problem, taking him down. Here I'm controlling his left arm, but I didn't take my attention on it, but it's very important actually. I'll tell you later why. I'm talking here how important to use your legs. The legs is everything for punching, and here I'm showing that legs are almost everything for taking down. And head can be useful not only for thinking, it can also work as a takedown part. Look at this, I don't even need the hands if I went for the move low enough. Here I'm just playing Cinderella. It's good for kids to tell a fairy tale, so people remember. Look at this, how I step over his leg. Now I got one leg between my legs, roll over, and we came up with the same position which we had for knee bar. And here I'm showing you step by step how you do it. Like I said, first of all, you have to have one leg in the middle, one leg outside. Depends how you like to fight, which left forward. I'm creating a small tunnel for my head, but there is no really tunnel because your leg gotta go fast to the back of his neck, I'd say. I'm showing the back, but you actually have to search for the highest point you possibly can to take the guy down. Look at this. All the way. If he grabs you, it only helps. You can actually sometimes grab him. This is actually step number 2. You have to understand how to take the guy down once you're in that position on the floor. Like it's like middle part of this technique. I'm using in this case right leg to create the power, to create the movements, and kicking him forward with my left leg right in the middle of his spine. And I have to drive him. If I want to bring him on my right shoulder in this case, because I'm going for his right leg. If I fall on the other side, it still can be done, the move can be done, but he has more chances to escape. I'm showing you step by step how you're going to your feet if you want to learn how to finish the move, how start and finish the move from your feet. Look at this. Here's a little zoo story. Let's say I'm a little monkey and holding myself, and there is no danger going for the move as long as your partner is holding you. Just like this, slowly, step by step, higher, higher and higher, I can finish the technique and learn to do it right away in 5 minutes. Just control an elbow, bring up the head, and putting right. Your weight, distribution of your weight is very important, and the person is tapping out. In fact, it did happen with the UFC number 5, my first fight. Here I'm talking about that basically adding submissions is breaking a stick. Breaking a stick is very similar to arm locks, leg locks, ankle locks, and key locks and neck cranks. I'm talking about that you have to push sides of the stick in one direction and middle goes to another. Like here, for example, I'm showing like big thick stick is his body. So neck is the middle, goes up, head goes down by push down by my head, and his body stays in the same place because my body is laying down on him. So everything works in a similar way. Here's I'm explaining choke, how easy it can be done, how to find where your arteries are. It's right behind those small muscles, which is on the side of your neck. And here I'm showing different parts of my arm can be used to choke the person. Here I'm showing what chiropractors shouldn't be doing, and exactly opposite we do to achieve success in the neck crank, with neck cranks. Now we are looking for a right spot for ankle lock. Pro wrestlers don't want to hurt each other. They're professional wrestlers. They're showmen. That's why they never do it properly. If you want to finish properly ankle lock, it's very important. You gotta find the right spot, and the right spot is located right nearby the heel. And also, I was showing here the right spot on your hand to use for ankle lock. And imagine that you don't have a sharp knife and you're trying to cut the bread. That's pretty much what you have to do with ankle lock. Now, I want to also show that there's an extra way to deliver extra force for ankle lock. You moving your elbow behind your own back. See, if I don't control his knee with my right knee, would be no pain. But since I do, just going around the circle create extra pain, and there is no way you can resist to ankle lock submission. What I'm showing here is the proper way to cross your legs where it should be crossed and how. See, more like an inside. And I'm squeezing my legs right at the place where Muay Thai kick goes to. It's a very painful spot, and it helps us to, in a way, disarm his defense. Just because of pain, his legs will be easier to finish. And by crossing your feet and kicking the tailbone, even kicking tailbone, things will come easier. And here I'm showing that you have to grab a heel, not ankle, heel. Just a couple inches down would be wrong. And it, for example, cost me a title for Ultimate. Leverage was not good enough if you don't get the heel. Also, if you change the angle of the foot position, it can help you a lot in order to make knee bar for any flexible knee, any people who has a resistance to pain. Now we're not breaking two ligaments, just one by turning the foot on one side, but it helps. Look at this. If someone is so impatient and so angry at you and trying to kick you with another leg, you just grab the free leg and put it in the front like a bar. And now we're doing knee bar over another leg. So it's a double pain. See, we got already 5 small spots, 5 more tips how to make a proper leg lock. And here's the one funny one. You kind of making leg shorter, but it helps. Leg become less flexible. It works all the time with legs, with the arms. This move I call a squeeze lock. It might be another name, but just came up with this idea, squeeze lock, and it is squeeze lock. All we have to do, get the heel to the hip and get something in the middle, and once time, you just make it more thicker, bigger. So in this case, turn your wrist in a right angle, 90 degrees, and we get the separation of a knee in a knee joint. Look at this, legs and hip coming together. So we bring his heel and the butt together, and at the same time we turning wrist right angle. So there is no way you can resist here. It's very important to have a good control when you're going for arm lock. It's probably more important than arm lock itself. I lift his right shoulder with my foot, my ankles, and his left shoulder up because of my hip. And I cross my feet, and there's no way for him to get out. Now let's see how many different ways we can use to break the hold. Here's using the leverage, breaking the hold over my own arm. Very simple, but very, very effective. One thing you have to remember, get all of this close to his hands. Easy to break. Same thing like leverage. When you put your attention on another arm, somehow it always happens the arm you wanna comes easy. There is no difference between arms and legs. I've been always saying this. And arm squeeze lock works the same way. You can take it as just a short, small leg in this case, but it works absolutely the same way. One thing, you have to lay your body parallel to his body. It goes for comfortability. What I'm going to show you right now is how important to control the head, and you have to do it all the time. And in this case, you do it with your own leg without breaking the pole itself, because he's in an uncomfortable position, plus you still continuing doing arm lock. I'm showing here what you're going to achieve as a separation in a joint if you do things properly. Look at my hands. Look at the way I put them together to get through the defense once I go for a choke. Just a day ago I found that that's exactly the move people do when they want to go through the body to the bones. I'm talking about nationalities like in Siberia or somewhere in the north part of Russia. Very important to use nose, and very important to help yourself by using another extra part of the body, means your head. See, I'm pushing back with my hand forward, and I create extra maybe 70% of power for the move. If he doesn't let me get through fully, get my arm all the way, sometimes it's enough to just get the 2 forearms. Cross them. I'm showing the parts of the arm you have to use, and rest works almost like a scissors, which you use to cut trees. Exactly. This is the right places, right points on your head, which you have to press with your wrist to perform a neck crank. To achieve it, sometimes easier just to turn his head sideways, so you don't have to look for the right spots. They'll be right underneath. That's exactly how I elevate my wrist, and his forehead got me pushed down to the ground with my head and my shoulder, and body stays in the same place because my body is laying down on him. So neck crank will be done, no problem. Choke with the gi, very simple, just to get as deep as you possibly can. And you have to control another arm so he doesn't defend himself. Very effective choke when you're on the bottom. You gotta get to the farthest point on the gi. Just your thumb gets all the way down there. And what you do with your right arm is not really important. You just gotta get something, some part of his gi will be enough. All work, 99%, has been done by my left arm in this case. Okay, it's like a snake goes underneath. So once I grab the gi and pull it in separate directions, there's almost no way you can resist. Here's something what people always make mistakes when they're trying to perform triangle. Position of your body, that's what's most important. Basically, once he gets to the ground, he should lay down on your hip. then you can easily cross your feet and finish the move. So you have to adjust your position before you go in for a triangle. It's one of the few dozens way to get the knee bar. Once I got my knee on the top, just going around, but I have to block the arms before I go for, so I wouldn't be stopped on the way. Just like a water goes around the rock. If he crosses his legs for any reason, I mean, of course he will, as a defense, you can easily finish move by squeeze lock, or get rid of his top leg and get the one you needed. Step by step, like you untying a knot. Don't try to rush here. Slow, step by step, things will come to the right place. Again, I'm reminding here how important and effective to change an angle of the foot. Just a 10-15 degrees will be enough. Make big difference. I'm showing here where you should keep your elbows when you're fighting on the top. Either you keep them behind the legs, either you keep his head up. So there is no other way. You don't want to leave one arm and one head between legs. To open a space can be easily done by elbows. There are a few painful spots on the inside of legs, and by pressing them, legs can be opened, no problem. Here's two different ways to get knee bar. One is you going around, like a hooking on the way the leg. And another way is we're doing same thing but using legs instead of arms. But here I have to adjust my body. My hip goes right over his kneecap. And once I got his butt, once I cross my legs and fix them tightly around his ankle. Okay, the only part should I use gotta be hip, nothing else, because you can easily lose him if you move, for example, your legs. If you try to move your arms, change the hold. But once you got the hold, you have to move your hip forward, and move should be done, should be finished without losing the guy. A little combination. Something as an eye-opener in martial arts was the way you can start the fight. You don't need to shoot like wrestlers do. Sometimes you can get a good knockout with a knee or just a punch. You can go forward with your legs. What you have to do is have to remember the right place to attack legs. One of them would be foot, which you have to kick in line with toes. Another is shoulder, knees. Knees, you have to kick in different directions, like separate the legs in a way. And once he went down in 99% cases usually falls on the stomach, even for a second. You can continue the move and finish him with a leg lock on his stomach. Big help here that he's laying down, so he don't need to control his knee. Knee is already on the floor. So move becomes deadly, very dangerous. It's a drill of taking the person down. You grab on the heel, not ankles, heels. Separating knees, pushing them sideways. And also I want to help here to myself doing like a tree movements, lifting my hip. Unfortunately, he will fall a little faster than I wanted to, so I don't show you the way you can use your hip all the way. But you just have to remember that 100 pounds guy can take down 300 pounds guy easily if he use all parts of his body and use his hip also, like a raising up, like a tree. Once you fall, you have to put one knee on the middle like a rock, hanging over his hip, so he can't jump over, he can step over, he can pass it. And by controlling both feet, there is no way for him to escape. But I'm showing you a little more sophisticated way to control legs, like one of them getting your right leg under his right leg. So you don't need to do anything else. You already got like ultimate control, and you can finish the guy with any move now, because he's not gonna escape. There is no way. He can't damage your legs. He can't escape. He's just a good sparring partner for practicing. Once you place it on a foot, can be grabbed by his hand, but you gotta grab the hand before, so he doesn't stop you. I'm showing you that you have to kick the foot in line with the toes. Foot doesn't work once you kick it sideways, but once you kick it in line with the toes, foot sweep can be done immediately, easily. It's like pops off the floor right away. You can hold this position inside guard, or both my feet inside. Well, why it's better on my way than open guard, you can do more things with your partner. Look at this, how easy it can be. You can lift him, just pulling him forward a little bit towards your head, lifting up, and you can either throw him aside, either taking him down with a foot under full control, just like I did.
Get up. Get up over my knee. Get up. Go back in there. Now try to get up.
Here's a perfect example of controlling person. Here's a little sophisticated way to take the guy down. I made it up once because this situation is not uncommon. And when you both of your legs inside and you kind of turn to him sideways, it's very effective. Look at this. You keep your right knee still behind, but your right foot goes in the front, and you're kicking his foot with your left leg, and he easily falls down. And again, you can finish him with a leg lock after falling. I'm showing you here how you can find the right spot, which we were talking about earlier. You can slide down on the leg, and at a certain moment your wrist will be stopped by his heel. And this is the right place where you have to turn your heel in a right angle, 90 degrees, and the fight should be stopped, should be over by that. So look at this, getting elbows inside, it hurts, and I'm safe, he can't pull my arms. Now I'm showing you another way to pass guard. So I wouldn't call it passing guard. I don't like actually the term passing guard because you don't really need it. So many things you can do without the passing. I'm showing here that your knee goes right in between your body and his body. And you're sort of impaling his you can say tailbone, but I don't like actually any to need anything on the way. I want to pass through between his body and my body. Look at this, relaxation, falling, and you got perfect ankle lock position. To understand how to do this, I can escort you step by step. First, you move your butt as far as you possibly can. Then you put one of your legs right in the middle between his legs, and then keeping your balance, impaling him. But one thing you have to remember, the leg which is outside, in this case it's the right leg. To escape from any grip, any hold, you have to remember only one thing, very simple. I'm taking a breath from many martial arts instructors, but it's that simple. What you have to do is just push his hand towards his thumb. That's it. Just to see where his thumb should be directed and push it that direction. It's an ultimate explanation what you have to do to get rid of any grip. Same thing you do with your foot. In this case, see how easy, funny, and easy. But once you got it deep enough, the escape comes from different direction. You have to turn your hip on the side. Let's say he got your right leg, you gotta go on the right hip. Left leg on the left hip, and you have to do it step by step. If he got already two legs, we released one leg, then we released another. And all moves start from hip. If you do it before, you can easily dislocate your knees.
When did you begin martial arts?
I think I was 10 years old, and I started from JUDO. And because JUDO and SAMBO was
Very
common
close.
in the United States, and we basically did 1 month of Sambo if we had to compete in Sambo, or 1 month of Judo if we had to compete in Judo. Something like this.
What are the differences between your Sambo and the Sambo?
My Sambo is more universal because they were fighting in narrow rules, just a straight sport Sambo, and I had to adjust my Sambo because for a fight with no clothes, or kurtka, how you call this. Plus, like I said, I learned a lot from Judo and Jiu-Jitsu, where I spent 6 years equally. So I'm well-rounded in terms of chokes, neck cranks, which were illegal in Judo but legal in Jiu-Jitsu, for example. But nowhere you can find some leg locks or anything like this. And some takedowns also very unique in Sambo. So honestly, it was very interesting, but I spent 6 years in Judo, 6 years in Sambo, 6 years in Jiu-Jitsu, and so far now 3 years in boxing. So
What kind of boxing?
no, American boxing, professional boxing. I have a record, 1 fight. I won, and I was at Atlantic City. But after this, I figured, you know, real boxing, because it's tough work. It's not about you. Even if you win, even if your opponent is very weak, you get so many blows just, you know, because, I mean, it works this way. And but I still continue learn some strikes and trying to get absolutely well-rounded in this.
Do you eat special things?
You know, when I know that I have to look lean on TV, then I usually, yes, I do eat special things. I mean, I do not eat special things. I think like a Swiss cheese is very special, but I don't eat this, you know. Or I don't drink because when I drink and I get so hungry and I want to eat a lot. And I absolutely cut sugar. Absolutely. So things, I don't drink Coke, for example, usually. Not usually, I don't drink at all unless I come to friends. But I don't, no sugar, that's it. It's like absolutely. And probably I drink some caffeine. I mean, it's like a coffee or something like that before you work out. It burns your fat faster. If I train, I'm just trying to come up, recall what I did before my training. I would eat everything what my body feels like to eat. I would eat everything. That's why I think when you're ready for fights, you need to have some fat on your body. I think it's better. You feel stronger, you can breathe longer, you can fight longer. And I would not cut myself in like any diet. I would just eat everything and drink so much water. Especially American athletes, they drink lots of water compared to Russians. We were raised in a way that you don't drink at all. And I think it's a good idea for your mentality. It's good that you can force yourself to stay mentally strong. But there is one thing. When you have to fight, like on the Ultimate Fighting Championship, for 1 hour in the mountains, you have to drink. Your body got to have water. It's like some people ask me why you were so tired after a fight against Aaron Cabot on the Ultimate Fighting Championship. I was tired because I didn't have water in my system. I went to see a doctor after, and they told me that your body is absolutely dehydrated.
Yes,
so,
you need to drink.
Yeah, they pour in me 4 liters of special fluid, you know.
Do you want to let something in martial arts world?
Ah, yes, sure, of course I do. And first of all, I want to do a lot of things actually. New thing will be that I want to change Sambo a little bit. I want to make Sambo more acceptable for everybody. I mean sport Sambo. Combat Sambo, it's everything, but it's too violent. Because every single move in combat Sambo is, you know, just to damage person. It was made for NKVD, for KGB, so it's different. But a sport Sambo, I want to make competition, by the way, here in Europe. I want to make sure they choke. So I want them to go through exactly what I went through. So I want to get best from Jiu-Jitsu, best from Judo, and I created my own sport style. And if you translate this, it will be develop, it's like a command, develop what's been given by God to you. Means if you have long arms, long legs, and you have the flexibility, you're fast, you know, then learn how to never be submitted on the ground or never be taken down. So be a great wrestler. But once you throw your punch, it should be over, you know, or your kick. It should be over. If you kind of look like a pit bull, you know, you can't box, then learn how to defend yourself, how to cover yourself up, so make sure you don't get knocked out. But once you're on the ground, if person you take down escape, then you're not a good ground fighter. You know, you can't call yourself. So that's basically my idea. So there is no people who are not capable to learn some discipline. Just sometimes teachers, they want to teach everybody in a way they are. Only the best teachers in the world look at a student and say, you know what, I like your, I know you're very unusual, I know your legs are not straight, I know your neck is too long maybe, or maybe your shoulders too small, or maybe, but we can use it, you know, and I show you some moves which you can do only with your construction. Like for example, I don't have long legs, and I came up with moves which nobody can do it, some you know, those crabs when you break a leg. It's if you have very long thin legs, it's a move I would not suggest to try. But for people with different constructions, you know. But if I have a student who's tall, I would show him the moves which are acceptable for him.
So you want people to find their own style?
Right. I want to help people to find their own style. So that's my idea. It's go, develop, развей, given by God. I mean, by Lord, by, you know, just to open their mind. That's what I want. Yeah.
Okay. Why did you want to fight?
First, I did it for fun in Russia. I would say I would want to change, switch my mind on something else, because I had a big business and I was mentally very tired. So I would go once in a while and just to fight on Jiu-Jitsu Rigumi Go. It's full contact Jiu-Jitsu, and they call it European and Asian Championships. We had people coming from different countries, and basically it's all kind of takedowns, all kind of submissions, and punches and kicks. At that time, nobody really understand ground fighting, and ultimate fighting was not, I mean, wasn't popular. It didn't start it yet, and I was beating everybody up, you know, on the ground. So people were surprised. They was like, damn, how? So I became a champion 4 times. Then after second ultimate fighting, just timing was like just like this. I went to Latvia, Riga. It's a Baltic country, or former Soviet Union, and it was my first no hold barred, no rules championship, which I got first place. So I was 5 times champion of you know, full contact and everything goes competitions in Russia. But I did it just you know, for fun, and also I was collecting the footage for United States. I thought I will come there. I want to play in the movies, and I show them the footage that I'm a real fighter and all these moves, and they'll be so impressed, and I'll get the part like this, job like this as an actor. It was wrong, but it did help me to get place, position in ultimate fighting, They saw my tapes. I went to Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. I grappled those guys, and I found that I'm better, actually. But at that time, office which was responsible for selecting fighters for the Ultimate Fighting was across the street, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu in Torrance. So I grappled with those guys, and then they told me, you can try to sign up for Ultimate Fighting. So I went across the street and I did this, and I brought tapes, and who I think the best fighter in the world? So I will never answer this question just in one person. I will say in the different disciplines. In different disciplines will be wrestling is Alexander Korelin. Judo, the best overall was Yasuhiro Yamashita. Boxing, I love boxing so many people actually. I like many people. I like Oscar De La Hoya. I like of course Muhammad Ali, and just many names I can say. Liborio, Valigi, Ismail, who's also like my second coach. Not talented. He's very focused on his target, but he's just not talented, you know. But because he works harder than anybody, he got the most success now. You know, you got to really admire people like Valigi. I like pound per pound. I think I admire. There's a fighter named Nino. He's very small, but I grappled with him, and technique is just perfect. Like very small, very narrow. In the Sambo, I would call three names. First, it's my coach, Nick Baranov. Second, David Rudman, coach of his. And we also had a champion, was unbeaten, I think. Just impossible a guy in terms of his fights. I mean, nobody could even be close to take him down, and plus he was great on the ground. His name was Pushnitsa. Tall, legs are kind of like this, but just his technique was just unbelievable. He would be like a spider.
And in your opinion, what are the differences between somebody who practices martial arts and a champion?
Who just practice martial arts and who fights?
A champion, yes.
Mostly, it's.
Is it technique? Is it a technical problem, or in the
I think
mind?
it's more in the mind, because they don't want to prove themselves. You know, they can relax. They know how hard it is to fight. It's you gotta relax. You gotta be nice to your opponent for the whole time. Right before you wanna, knock him out or make him tap out. Even those things people do nice on a high level. You know, Muhammad Ali would throw his overhand punch just right in the chin, so it would be no violence. It would be so nice. And sometimes you can see people who's very good at submissions. They like play, bam, the guy tapped out, but nice. They don't want to hurt anybody. They don't want to break any legs. They don't want to show that, I'm the man, I'm the tough. They didn't care about how they look. But I mean, I really don't see any difference between sport and martial arts. Martial arts is a sport, just a sport you work out more often, I guess. Sports athletes is a man who has more time to spend on this, and who wants to check what he can do, his ability in a fight. It doesn't have to be a fight like to kill or to damage someone.
On the beach in Malibu, in Los Angeles. Hawaii. And then you see guy from what's the club? The club.
Here? Le prétexte.
Le prétexte? Oui. And then you see Senior from Le Prétexte. He's laying down behind you. He's laying down behind you.
Il vient derrière lui.
So you don't want to get raped?
Donc on veut pas être attrapé.
We get the lower leg, not here, lower, remember.
On met la jambe en bas,
Put between your legs,
on passe entre nos jambes
squeeze it.
et on serre.
See, it's about 4 or 5 centimeters from me.
Il y a 3-4 cm du genou.
Why?
Pourquoi? Je sais pas.
Anybody can answer me? Tell me
Est-ce que
why.
quelqu'un peut me dire?
It's narrow to make leverage.
Leverage also, and plus, he's the smartest one, intelligent. Yeah. Muay Thai kick, bam, bam, bam. Muay Thai, bam, bam. Low kick, bam, bam. Always here, same thing. So you squeeze hard. If your legs are so strong, some people can tap out even from squeezing. So squeeze is the most important. And see the space between me. There are women here, so I'm not going to tell what part of my body. So from me and from me, that much.
Je ne veux pas te dire qu'il y a des femmes ici.
Second, I'll kick his butt.
Donc bien serrer le genou,
Third, I will pull
tirer.
his heel. If his leg is strong and flexible like his,
Si ses genoux sont très flexibles, très souples comme lui,
see right now I'm breaking both
il
sides.
peut briser les ligaments, les tendons.
If he's too strong,
S'il est trop fort,
I'll break just one.
j'en casque un.
I'll change 15 degrees.
Je vais aller à 15 degrés.
And it's easy.
Et c'est facile, pardon.
If he's too aggressive,
S'il est trop agressif
trying to kick you,
et qu'il essaie de frapper,
you punish him by
on le punit comme ça.
putting your leg here, and it's more dangerous now.
Et ça, c'est très dangereux. C'est plus dangereux.
Okay? So you want to teach him Hawaii, don't forget. Let anybody choke him. Your chin, always slow, shoulders, always up. Can I change? Yes, you can. So once you get your chin down, it's fine. Just stay straight. And if you see his arms, just get the fingers. Like I told you, if it's most important, you will never get choked if you just get the hands around you. Most important, it's legs. This is okay, it's no problem. For a good fighter, no problem. This is a problem. This is a problem. If I control him, I can choke him anytime.
Si je le contrôle bien, je peux l'étrangler à n'importe quel moment.
I will torture him.
Je vais le torturer.
Play him.
Je joue avec lui.
And then, when I want to have fun,
Et là, quand je veux m'amuser, enfin, avoir un bon
just do
moment.
it.
Comment est-ce qu'on sort de cette position? C'est
Question again, how to get out?
What is really deep on the side? So you always turn side and stepping over. Side, step over. Or your favorite move. Hop, hop. Oh. Or hook. Oh, it's just a, yeah. But basically, the side hook. See, hook. You hit. He's a tough guy. He wants to really get tired. It's okay. For example, we're on the ground. Go ahead, punch him, stop. Punch. Go ahead. Go ahead. No problem.
Oleg est en train de montrer que là où il se fait frapper et comme il se fait frapper, ça ne le dérange pas.
La question initiale, c'était comment il peut faire le petit, en fait, ils ont le même niveau. Et il disait le petit, il
Non, ouais.
n'aura pas peur parce qu'il se fatigue moins.
Ouais. Il faut simplement qu'il soit patient et qu'il attende.
Voilà. Il faut attendre que le gros il se fatigue.
I'm not tired. Wait 5 minutes.
Le lourd.
Okay. Make sure you don't tire to use your knee. When you strike, if you strike, see this? Use my knee too.
Voilà, il utilise la force de l'autre, quoi. Quand l'autre frappe, bah, il tourne dans le sens de la frappe pour se protéger.
You don't strike from here, I'm not going to let you strike here because I'm going to take it down. Usually, the best you can get it from here. You know, you relax. Relax. It's good that he's trying to use new technique.
C'est bon que tu essayes des nouvelles techniques, là. Que tu utilises toujours des nouvelles techniques, ça tu vois.
Should I use technique which I showed today?
Il va utiliser des techniques, voilà, aujourd'hui. Il nous montre exactement tout ce qu'il nous a appris aujourd'hui.
I'm just showing hold how properly control the leg. See, that's why I was talking about. You gotta control another leg.
Il montre juste comment il contrôle avec les jambes.
So, general idea, relaxation for the first minute. You learn what he's capable at, and then you try what you want.
It's very important not to cross your feet once you go forearm lock. And I don't even like actually put it in one leg, which we used to use as a rack across. See how many ways to defend counter moves can come up if you do it. And it's actually even more dangerous because you have more power here. You're breaking his own legs over his own leg. So I prefer this position. I'm showing you another defense or escape, the squeeze lock, but it can be done. It's not easy. It's not very easy. Here you have to remember you have to jump forward with the hip if you want to achieve it. One of the interesting moves is a toe hook. You gotta grab the knuckles. See your little finger with his little toe are together, and you control the knuckles. And what's good about the move, you don't need to control anything, except you just help yourself first of all to reach with your hand your own wrist, and the rest is not important. You just gotta continue turning it. That's the beauty about toe hook. You don't need to control the rest of the body. You have to be like a snake, like mangost, going to reach your own wrist, and move can be done. One thing you have to remember, of course, his knee has to be bent. Look at this, like a little panda bear, just in a kind of lazy way you're moving around, but success can be achieved anyways. For heel hook, we're using a little bit different part of your wrist, much closer to the elbow, and it goes up. But here you have to remember that the move is very dangerous, so when you practice it has to be done slowly. And what's less interesting for me here is it's very hard to control the body. Yes, I mean you can really damage the knee, but he can escape easily. And you can see when people go for heel hook, on one success, usually 100 escapes. Because I'm showing you here the way to control the knee, but it's more sophisticated way, and this is perfect. Of course, he can't escape from here. And I'm turning his hook not with my arm strength, I'm turning it with my body, so I wouldn't lose his heel. Remember about the stick? So now we got little stick starting with his foot and ending with his knee. See how you can break the stick with your own legs? Jean Lebel called it salt and fresh water crab. Just came up with a name for this move, and I did it for his book, and I'd like to keep his name in honor to old Jean. You must control the elbow, I mean his knee. That's the first thing. If you don't control the knee, there is no way you can really finish the move. Next thing is to place his heel on the same level with your legs. Like if you, for example, put a stick, it will take a vertical position. Your heel and end of your thigh will be on the same level. And once you get the control, again, you're using only your hip. Because if you start using any other part of the body, you can lose the guy easily. You can lose the foot also as well. See? And don't forget about your neck, of course. Chin down and one hand to protect your own neck. But he should tap out a little bit faster, of course, than you do. That's a very primitive, simple way to defend yourself if he crosses his foot. Just to remember for yourself, simply, if he's the right leg over, you gotta use your left leg, and vice versa. Chin down, grabbing his foot and falling on the side of his knee. That's pretty much the beginning for the saltwater crab. He goes for choke, you're grabbing his leg, and who's faster here? Usually you, but if you have a great defense against choke, you can always go for something else. What's good about the move is unusual. So for exhibition competition, you can surprise many people. It's a funny way to do toe hook. Once the guy going for a triangle, you can help him. Just a little help, so he wouldn't do it again. And the principle you can see right there. Knee bar, once you are on the bottom, you have to pull yourself out first. Of course, you shouldn't be stopped by anything, so you have to get on the side before you go on for knee bar or squeeze lock here. So many different variations which you can do here.
the whole body.
So if you can do this, rest, it's almost 99% should be done. But you always start with nose. Start with nose, with the elbows. Here I'm showing the same knee bar from the bottom. Very, very effective. Especially even if you don't achieve the final result, if it doesn't tap out, from the pain people just escape. I mean, let's say someone was on top of you. Once you go for the move, people just jump and run away. Not run away, but at least, I mean, change the position. You can reverse the whole fight just by this little scare. Same move on the top. I'm using my hip, nothing else. The rest has been tightly placed. Function of controlling his leg can be done by your body, can be performed by your body, and the rest you can do with your hands. Arm locks. What's most important? Somehow again, controlling the head. Once you control head, it's like a locomotion. All the body will follow. See, I block his vision. I made his position very uncomfortable, and I can continue to the rest of the stuff. My knee is like a bar, which gonna help us to break the hold, break the defense. His body goes in a bow. It's very painful when somebody put a bone, sheet bone in this case, into your ribs and sideways. And with my left leg also I'm cracking his neck. You don't really see it, but it is. Once you're in a mountain position, as soon as you get his head up, people usually protect themselves with the elbows, and that's your time to get your knees under the elbows. Once you got your knees under the elbows, you place all your weight, like a side of your hip, on a center, whichever I've shown you, of his chest, solar plex. It stops his breathing. Using leverage again to reach for the arm. But most important and most effective part here again will be what I do with his head. If I keep his head up, he has almost no way of breathing. If he throws me off his body, I can finish the move just using my left leg by cracking the leg sideways. Look at this. There is one more trick you can do if he still keeps the hold and giving you a hard time. It's right here. I'm showing you that you should never put your arms between the legs, because some people are very strong and they can squeeze legs, and your arms can never be pulled out. Leverage over your own leg, grabbing leg from inside, falling down like you want to sleep, letting him follow you, and now just simply pushing his head backwards, and his arm is yours. Doing it vice versa. Instead pulling the arm, we're pushing his body off his arm. Very, very effective. I would really suggest to spend enough time practicing this move, because it brings you new principle. To go for kill, like sometimes it helps to use your knee in order to free the arm, get his elbow closer to you in more comfortable position. Look at the technique itself. Once you grab the wrist, your another arm goes like a plane around. You reach for your own wrist.
First, only a second.
I'm showing how neck crank can be done when you're on the ground. Pretty much the same technique what we did earlier when we were on the top. You turn his chin sideways, or his head more sideways. Using your hip here, you don't see it, but what I'm doing is I'm using my hip and using my legs. I'm stretching him. And the top of his head goes up because of either my hand, either my head. Different variations of leg sweep, but you have to get both sleeves, almost like a scissors. One leg's fully on the floor, one is on the top, knee on the chest. Sweeps can be done easily. This is arm lock from the bottom. Frank Shamrock did very well at the UFC competition, but without the gi, he finished Olympic champion in the wrestling, I think in 20-something seconds. Cross hold again, and I'm reaching for inside of the legs, placing leg over the neck also as well, and he falls into arm lock position. Little trick is showing the guy that you're going for arm lock, and as a defense he will suck in his elbow, and what you have left is an arm and a head, and it's perfect for a triangle. But you have to move your body, you have to move your butt fast, side to side here. Of doing things. Instead of pulling something, you can push the rest of the body off the part which you need, legs or arm or neck. Once you go for arm lock, if you're on the back, you have to remember one thing: to place your butt towards his head. Just lay down on your side so your butt be always facing his head. It's very important, because if you do it in any other way, he'll escape simply. Play the game of brothers and sisters, means two arms on the head, like family, keeping together, he can easily escape. Once you get the position which I'm taking right now, one thing you have to remember is not to let him roll like he did right now. Even if he rolls, you still have a typical arm lock. Legs, the most important. You got the legs on his stomach, he can go for anything from here. And just a different position of reaching his arm. You can hardly see it, but you should see what I do with my left leg, how I'm opening up his neck. Also, I'm bringing your attention to the leverage which I'm using over my own leg to break the hold. Let's say he's very good with protecting his neck and protecting his arm. Here we come up to move Russians call canary, little bird who sings so well. So why would we call this? Because people sing so well once you get this move on them. Your foot, left foot in this case, hook his legs not by itself. It had to be done with the turn of all of your body. Where body goes, that's where your foot should go, not by itself. Once you reach it, grab another leg which is free, just what we've been talking about earlier. Pull him, lay down on your back, and here you have a few dozens of different techniques. You can choose the one you like to finish the fight. Squeeze lock again, probably the most dangerous from all this category. And again, I think Jean Lebel, when he saw this move I call it banana split. This is a different way to finish the fight. To make it stronger, more powerful, you have to place his foot behind your neck. And now, besides just pushing things with your legs, you have to pull his knee forward. But the most important, of course, you have to remember that you gotta keep your weight on the top of his back, on the top of his lower back. If you do it, he'll never escape. You can always switch things. You can go for the choke or for arm lock. But if you lose the position, he will get on top of you or escape. This move, first time I've seen at the 1983 at the JUDO championship, being performed by Yasuhiro Yamashita, unbeatable judo player, using this incredible leverage. See, I pull his sleeve, and I'm not using any muscle power, it's just leverage, elbows on my back, and we came to perfect arm lock position. His side towards you, you got full control, and you can easily finish the move. All together. Elbow, push down, and your body put the maximum power towards the spot on the mat where his elbow used to was. See? All together. And immediately, as soon as you get rid of his elbow, you gotta circle around him, control his head if you can. And here's just a simple control. If you can't control his head, he doesn't let you, you go for arm lock. Let's say we faced a great protection, there is no way we can choke the person. And that's the way we're trying to, how we open him, just by pulling him forward. sometimes you create a space for your leg, which you immediately should fill up. Perfect. You got perfect control of your legs. Gentleman is protecting himself. And here, as a help, can be a big nose. Of course, some nationalities don't have any nose, more Asians, but Middle Eastern nationalities have a big nose, and it can be very effective. What I'm doing here. When none of them works, what you can do, you can like a smash, place your wrist around the face, turn his face sideways, connect hands, and we got simple neck crank or neck lock to understand the technique. I'm using my shoulder to push his head forward. Body stays in the same place because my body also controls it. And you gotta suck your elbows, suck your wrists in. That's how you can do it in submission fighting. This is illegal for judo, sambo, or probably even jiu-jitsu. But just in case, if you need it for any open rule submission fighting, that's how you do this. Just simply place the arm in front of his face, and if you need to turn the face, you can have it done by kind of placing your knuckles into his under his ear. Right beneath his ear, there's a pressure point. I went from inside, have reached the farthest point on his gi. Scare him with any possible leg lock submission, just went for a knee. And it opened space for me to reach his another lapel. And with this hold, there's almost no way anyone can resist. Look at this. He doesn't let me. Here's I'm grabbing his leg. It opens up some spaces and take his attention. Pushing his elbow, and from inside I'm reaching opposite lapel, and I'm with there. If you ever watched a movie about cowboys, perfect variation of a noose. Here you should remember one thing: never stop moving, never stop rotation, because he will probably rotate before you as you escape, so you gotta go faster. And you adjust the position of your hands on the way. If they're too close, you let them be open more. If there's no other. If they're too close, you can open them up. But when you start doing this move, they shouldn't be far from each other. They gotta be close. Yeah, see? Full rotation, just like alligator. Bison. I'm showing you interesting way to bend the guy down by, if it's legal, by kicking his bladder or solar plex. In this case, for a sport variation of Sambo, Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, Just a little elbow in the solar plexus could be enough to bend him. And you go with the nose over. Here's something what is very effective, but to understand how effective it is, you have to fight at least once in your lifetime to understand that the condition is everything in a fight. Condition is about 95% of your victory. You can be fast, you can be strong, but if you can't breathe long, if you get tired fast, then you're out. And what I'm doing right now can makes no sense for majority of people, but fighters will appreciate this. In fact, if you have a big belly, it can be done easily. Just place your belly on his nose, on his face. If it stops breathing for a second, it means you want to fight, usually. People can't recover after it. Look at this. I control his face so he doesn't move anywhere. And I'm just placing my chest, and better if you place your lower stomach, you're going up. Here I connected it with the neck crank, and that's why it looks so good. I'm just correcting how you have to place your arm to achieve solid punch. Just to bend it a little bit forward. See, you go along with the punch. That's what boxers do. In fact, sometimes people think that the guy should be knocked out, but he's not, and that's what they're doing, moving along with the punch. Like James Tony, for example, when I spar with him and other guys could do it for hours, just to let other guys punching him, and he would be avoiding punch, like a water again goes around the rock, not stopping it. Here's a little drill how you can use your shoulders to avoid being knocked out. Put your arms down. Little game of relaxation. You're moving your body around the spine.
Okay, now start from the way.
Fully loose. Stomach, you're sucking stomach in, you're moving your hip away. Same thing you can do against grip. And later we will see it. See, I'm avoiding a punch by turning my body. See how effective it is when someone's trying to get a grip on you. By turning the body, you're breaking the possible hold and getting to the dead side of your opponent. If he wants to go for a belt, you lay down on his arm. There's no way he can grab you. Going for counter move against the kick, first thing you always have to remember how to protect your face. So you always have to have one arm free to protect your face in case if you miss the grip. Great thing is always to get on the dead side, like for example in this case. So it's less dangerous. Kick again goes along with the line of his toes. And pretty much we're going same way like we always do for a leg lock. This one is easy to perform when a person has a clothes, gi or Sambo jacket or just a regular jacket. Without, I wouldn't go for it because of you can try to push the elbow, but it can slip and he can stop you. By this little move on the side of his knee, I protected myself for any possible escape. Outer rip, and a little trick here. He thinks I'm going for a knee bar. Am I going to protect himself against it? But I keep his foot, and because of the pain, he will turn himself on the stomach, and he can finish move by ankle lock. But I'm just for your education, showing you here squeeze lock. But here instead of wrist, we're using your thigh. I crush his knee,
If you can stop hurting
and in 90 cases out of 100, he usually turns on the stomach, even for a split second, and you can finish the move by squeeze lock, just like this, by stepping over. Preparation for many different techniques. You gotta make him step. Once he's making the step, he can go for many different techniques. In this case, I want to just show you a continuation after taking the guy down. You can go for salt ladder crab, or you can kind of like starting passing the guard and go for knee bar. So your choice. Or just simply pass the guard and get points, for example, by controlling the guy. But you have to place your knee under his butt. Same thing what we did with the head. Keep it up. What I told you earlier, you have to control the arm because he can choke you if you let it go. To get extra power, extra support, you have to go in a circle. See, my right leg was going in a circle to take the guy down. And of course I control the arm. Finish. If you get a chance to grab his neck, head, he will lose his attention, and he will let you do many different things. Like in this case, knee bar. Once you want to pass his leg, you gotta go again like a water around the rock. that side. Every time, not every time, but many cases, probably 9 out of 10, fight starts this way. Someone's punching, someone goes under his punch on the dead side. What I'm doing right now. This is a cross hold, my favorite, by the way. It brought to me by me from Sambo. In judo it's prohibited because Japanese start losing to Russians, I think, in 60s. They were using this hold and they just got rid of it. But you can do it in jiu-jitsu or sambo. How many variations, how many techniques you can do? Zillion. Here's just a typical roll. Here is a foot sweep from inside. Same hold. And almost no way for him to go for a counter move. Single leg takedown. Outer rip. Almost impossible to block. Here's a different type of foot sweep. You have to remember to kick his foot just like a football. There's another variation. If you don't want to lose him, if you don't want him fall on the back, you control him. There's a breaking moment here. I'm placing my knee on the side of his knee and turning his heel with my foot. A little bit difficult at the beginning, but once you practice it for one day, it will be natural for you. So here he doesn't fall on the back, which is good for us, but not good for a sport variation of sambo or any fighting. You want to get the back of the guy, not the front. So you can choose which move to do. If you want to get points, you can just simply kick it, or if you want to submit him, get his back, you do this squeezing breaking moment. Scissors. I've shown you how slow you can do it, but you can of course jump like people did in Bruce Lee movies. Used to my favorite move, we call it simply a bull. A bull, a bull, a bull. Because this little bull, actually I broke my ear. If you can see, my left ear is broken, and you have to use your head here, literally, so much for this move. And I was very good at it, and my left ear was broken. Cross hold in a different position of your body, and look at how easy can be. Can you throw the guy down on the floor? Looks like a foot sweep, but unstoppable foot sweep. The leverage and position are so good for taking down, there's no way anybody can defend. This one looks like a roll almost. Just different positions, different holds, but the principle is the same everywhere. Cross hold and you go on opposite side. And a guy just waiting for you to throw him. Here, the way to break the hold, if someone's attacking from behind and grab your waist, you separate the fingers in a sideway, so it's painful. But don't bring his attention first that you're going to do something with the fingers. Just to get an idea what you're going to do during the main escape. And the main escape is right here. You're playing like a watermelon, a relaxed watermelon. You're making yourself big, opening up your stomach, jumping forward, you fully loose, and he can't hold you. You just suddenly became fat. And along with the separation of his fingers, there is no way he can keep the hold on you. Grip, going around. See, my left elbow was putting maximum pressure on his shoulder blades. and all this little structure, his wrist goes towards his head. If I don't stop him, I will escort him all the way to the ground, where he usually can go anywhere after. But I can stop him by placing my leg on the front, in this case the right leg. So either he will jump forward, breaking his neck. I'm showing you here that sometimes those kicks, which effective in the movies, don't work in the real life, because people are not stupid. They see what you're trying to do. But here, a very effective way to escape. I'm showing that I'm trying to go left and I'm going right, and vice versa. See, just getting my knee behind. It actually can be done as easy as it looks. Just try once. One thing you have to know is how to confuse him. So you need to play a little bit, keeping your balance, and that's it. Your guy's on the floor. Second way, of course, it's the one I just shown you. And there is one more excellent way, is going for a roll and knee bar. This is very effective when a guy is big, strong, and tall, and he's holding it almost up in the air. What I haven't done right here is I have landed on the ground before him. Usually this move should be done without opening any space, creating any space. He should roll somewhere nearby his hip, above his knee. So that's what you should remember. And in fact, I used to did exactly like that. I wouldn't land before the guy. Going on that side in the ground. See how effective it is. If your leg's inside, you get cross hold, and he's all yours. You can simply sweep him. Very effective. Pulling a little bit towards you, and turning, and you are on the top. You're in mount position. Few ways to show how easy can be blocked. Any punches can be blocked just with your knees. Kostadzu does it with the hands. In fact, and of course relaxation when you do this. In boxing, in old school of boxing, people have been using shoulders. Somehow, I think modern boxing is not as good as before, because people have only like what 30, 40 fights during a lifetime, and used to they had 200, 300. So they knew how to be lazy, how to save the energy, how to go for 12, 15 rounds. Same thing with in grappling. Elbows can protect you from a choke, and of course all parts of the body helps each other. This is Muay Thai defense, which you can perform on the ground. So everything is the same. Striking, grappling, all the same. It's like an eye-opener for someone, but it is. Actually, you can go from left arm to right arm also as well. You can finish by arm lock. Here I'm showing you my favorite drill, how to create ultimate defense on the ground. We're playing in UK, little island, back of my neck, big island, my chest, my stomach, and I don't let the guy grab my wrists or my ankles, just like royal family in England, sort of. And nothing crosses my body. Nothing crosses back of my neck. If I follow this, there is no way anybody can submit me. And of course, playing the family game. Hands, head together, legs, knees, helping your elbows, helping your other parts of your body, and vice versa. You can see it from here, but what I did right now is that saltwater crab is a counter move on the arm lock. I'm just showing you here some funny moves, which sometimes works.
Funny move.
Like for example, this one. I'm placing my knuckles right between his muscles on the ankle, on his calves. Very painful. Look at this, I'm playing the ball again. My knees, my arms all together. Now I let him go for arm lock. As soon as he got kind of deep, got his leg between mine. Yeah. Saltwater crab is ready. Knees, knees, knees. Knees always controlling the guy. Look at this. Again, this impaling movement. And I want to show you how effective your free right leg in this case can be. I'm sticking it under his ribs. Now I'm pushing his neck. Now again under his ribs. And I'm pushing him off me all the time to create a space and possibility for me to finish the fight with Nikolai. Little small tricks. I'm drilling his Just say something, come on. I said, one more technique on your feet,
Ok, une technique de plus sur vos
on your
pieds,
legs.
sur les jambes.
Locomotive. Arbe, this is locomotive.
Ça, c'est la locomotive.
This is the
Ok, c'est le wagon.
so if locomotive goes this way, the
Si la
wagons will
locomotive va
follow.
dans ce sens,
If I try to push his chest, the locomotive stays here, maybe nothing's
si je
gonna
commence à
happen.
pousser les wagons mais que la locomotive reste là, ça va pas marcher.
So as an example, I can show you one finger,
Par
push
exemple, je peux vous
locomotive,
montrer avec un doigt. Ça
you
marche.
take him down.
Je le fais tomber.
It's strong. And vice versa, if I push his body,
Si je pousse son corps, comme un cheval, ça marche pas. Il résiste.
I mean, I'm playing, of course, but it's good
Je
for you to
joue bien
remember.
sûr.
See? Don't fall, stand. Try to resist.
Essaye de résister.
See? Now watch
Vous
the
voyez?
difference.
Maintenant regardez.
Okay? That was a real example. I didn't lie. He didn't help me. It was right.
Là, j'ai pas menti, c'était la vérité.
Right. It's the one little detail.
C'est un petit détail.
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 Yeah. One detail. That?
Détail. Non, c'est good, détail.
Now here's another one.
Maintenant un autre.
See? Not this. I get more power.
Ah voilà, j'ai plus de pouvoir, c'est ça, plus de force, plus de puissance.
Here's another secret, little secret.
Un petit secret.
See where he's see this little thing right here?
Vous voyez ce petit
Si.
gars ici là?
Come on. That's where I want to approach my kick.
C'est là où j'approche ma frappe.
Right here. Okay. So I can either
Je peux aussi
move locomotive with
bouger la locomotive
either with my shoulder
avec nos épaules, avec mon coude, non l'épaule, oui.
either just grab his
Et je peux la frapper
head like this.
comme ça.
Sometimes even just do this. It's better than
Parfois on peut juste faire comme ça, c'est bien. C'est mieux.
put all my power.
Et mettre tout mon poids.
I'll do it in a nice way. So look at this. First step.
Premier pas.
4 times. In the 5th time,
4 fois et à la 5e, on
Okay.
projette.
I want to see chin.
Je voudrais voir le
Locomotive.
menton partir en arrière.
Forget about everything you know. Just I want you to follow me what I say. Chin up.
N'essayez pas de faire tout en arrière, faites le menton.
Foot straight. That's all.
Pied tendu.
Gentlemen, look at me. Look at me.
Regardez-moi.
That's it. That's it. Perfect. That's it.
Voilà, c'est
Beautiful. No, don't. Nice. Okay, perfect. Now let's do this little drill.
Ok, on va faire un exercice maintenant.
We also haven't been using it yet.
Quelqu'un que j'ai pas encore utilisé. Assieds-toi.
What I want to do right now, I want to see how you can move from side to side
Ce que je voudrais faire maintenant, c'est voir comment vous bougez d'un côté à l'autre.
and keeping his head up all the time. Look at this.
Et comment vous arrivez à contrôler sa tête en l'air tout le temps. Regardez,
My knees there.
mon genou est là. Voilà, et comment vous pouvez passer d'un côté à l'autre.
Oui.
I'm sorry.
Non,
c'est bon, ouais, c'est bon.
So from side to side, just keep his head up.
Donc d'un côté à l'autre en gardant sa tête levée.
Why do we need this? He can't escape.
Pourquoi j'ai besoin de ça? C'est pour pas qu'il s'échappe.
Right.
This is the foundation for many techniques from here.
Ça, c'est la base, la fondation pour...
I want to just get an
nombreuses
idea,
techniques.
get the feel, make yourself comfortable there.
Il faut que vous vous sentiez
And I'll
très
show you these
confortable.
techniques. Excellent. Good. Let's say we got his head up here.
Donc on le tient, on le contrôle comme ça.
Right. So what does it mean for
Ça-
us?
Voilà ce que ça veut dire pour nous.
Right. First of all, I mean, it means a lot because he's already
Normalement, ça veut
inside.
dire beaucoup parce
If
qu'il
he
est
gonna stay
mal.
like this. Usually people turn themselves on the side
Généralement, les gens se tournent sur le côté
because you see that's more comfortable.
parce que c'est plus confortable.
When they turn on the side, you already got his arm.
Si il tourne sur le côté, là, vous avez vraiment son bras.
But I don't want to rush to let his head go.
Mais je veux pas le laisser partir, je vais laisser la tête partir.
I want to keep it like this. Right. But what I'm doing right now, look at this.
Regardez ce que je vais faire maintenant.
See my knee?
Vous avez vu mon genou?
Lay down on it.
Rentrez le menton, bien serré.
Move my wrist over the hands.
Je pousse mon poignet par-dessus sa main.
See the difference?
Vous voyez
Before
la
it was like
différence?
this.
Avant, c'était comme ça.
See, it's so difficult.
C'est très difficile.
Here I made it just a short stick,
Là, c'est comme si c'était un petit bâton.
especially if I
Je
get
le
this
réduis.
open. See? Very nice and very easy.
C'est très beau et très facile.
Number 2,
Deuxièmement,
hand comes from the head.
la main vient derrière la tête, par la
Hold it,
tête.
hold it. I place like a bar over my knee.
Je passe comme une barre par-dessus le genou.
I'm falling on,
Je tombe. Je me tombe sur le côté.
now breaking his neck.
Et là, je brise la nuque.
So I let him space and I push him down.
Je lance ma jambe dans l'espace et je
Okay. So
je
number
fais partir en
1,
arrière. Premièrement, je
Lay down.
pousse le coude.
bring the elbows.
Je tire sur le coude.
Number 2,
J'emmène le coude par
Place the-
deuxièmement.
bar over the knee.
Une barre par-dessus le genou.
Lay down.
Je vais sur le
Let
côté.
him follow me. Push him up. Push him down on me. That's it, okay?
C'est tout.
Let's do it fast.
Essayez de le faire rapidement.
You gotta be alive.
Vous devez rester en vie. Je vais vous protéger.
Don't give 100% resistance, but you have to learn how to move like in a real fight.
Vous ne devez pas résister à 100%, mais vous devez bouger comme si vous étiez dans un combat. Vous devez travailler la défense.
Maybe 10-20% of resistance.
Vous devez donner 10 à 20% de résistance.
Mais non.
Ah oui. Et là, il m'a fait qu'un bras.
I don't really want you to practice it right
Je ne
now.
veux pas vraiment que vous le pratiquiez.
I will leave it up to coach after seminar.
Je l'expliquerai au coach après le stage.
Look, once someone gets your leg
Quelqu'un
on the
vous
leg
attrape
lock,
la jambe, en clé de jambe. Clé de cheville.
there is always defense. Look at this. So I get my arm inside here,
Il y a toujours une défense. Par exemple,
and I
je
need,
glisse ma main.
of course, I need to turn it on a right angle
Je dois tourner dans
Yeah.
l'angle droit.
and I squeeze it, right?
Et là, je tire.
See how much power I use? No good. So what I do is I just place it on my leg, and I throw myself in, throw my hip.
Et je me projette à l'intérieur. Je projette mes hanches à l'intérieur.
See what happened?
Vous voyez ce qui se passe?
See, I didn't just that much. In a competition, you gotta go like all the way here.
J'ai juste fait
Like jump.
J'ai juste fait ça de mouvement. En compétition, en combat, on se jette.
See, I bring his,
Il projette les hanches en avant.
yeah, I bring his
Il transporte son
elbow
talon
to his hip
sur ses
with
fesses
my weight.
avec son poids.
So basically, what I want to do is, I want to do this.
Voilà ce que je veux faire.
So you can imagine there's no way you can escape or
Vous
resist.
pouvez imaginer qu'il n'y a aucun endroit où on peut s'échapper et résister.
But it's more for your education,
Mais c'est plus pour votre éducation.
because I'm afraid that if you practice. Okay? You don't mind, huh? Next time with the coach, all right?
Vous le ferez la prochaine fois avec votre entraîneur.
Right. What I do want you to do practice right now is a proper ankle lock.
Donc maintenant, ce que j'aimerais que vous fassiez, c'est clé de cheville.
This when you get to this spot which you already know,
Avec cette
you
petite
can find
boule.
it. See, I place my thumb, it's right here.
Oui, vous l'attrapez ici.
And you place it where heel is.
Et là, vous la posez là où le talon d'Achille est.
See? It already hurts. So you gotta cut it like a bread.
Vous devez couper comme si c'était du pain.
Like you get a Swiss cheese but a Russian knife. No, I'm just kidding, no. Russian knife is good. Some kind of knife, I know. See how painful it is already. But what I want you to do
Vous voyez
also,
comme déjà, ça lui fait mal.
I want you to get your elbows behind your back.
Je voudrais que vous mettiez le coude en arrière.
So it's up with the hip and like you're trying to look back behind you.
Comme si vous vouliez regarder derrière vous.
So two things. If you combine in one, you get the perfect ankle lock, okay? Let's go. Look at this. Resist a little bit. So look at this. I got the hold, right? And if I pull him, oh, I can't finish. See? Even if I get his arm, I still have a hard time to finish.
Ça prend beaucoup de temps pour finir.
Maybe not for him, but basically it's, I have a hard time.
Peut-être pas pour lui, mais normalement, oui, ça me donne du temps.
Still have hard time. But once I place my foot over, no hard time.
Voilà, si je place bien ma jambe par-dessus, il n'y a plus de temps difficile.
Okay? Everybody understand? Or
Est-ce que tout le monde comprend? Souris, Nicolas.
you can come to this position, for example,
Vous pouvez
let's
venir dans
say,
cette position, par exemple.
let's say you're trying to do a arm lock and he got his head
Essayez de
here.
faire un clé de bras.
Yeah, so I'm trying, and he got his head. I'm trying to cover and he's pushing my leg off. See?
Par exemple, j'essaie de le couvrir, mais il pousse ma jambe en arrière.
Yeah. So,
Voilà.
so we end up in this position right here.
Donc j'arrive dans cette position.
Instead of going for the arm, I'm going for the choke.
Et là, j'arrive pour l'étranglement et je termine.
Okay, so just an idea for you.
C'est juste une petite idée pour vous.
Okay, let's go. You got
Deuxième
sleeves.
exercice. Vous attrapez les manches.
Look at this. First of all, I want you to be able to hold it like this,
D'abord, je voudrais que vous soyez capable de vous tenir comme ça.
so he doesn't move. You feel comfortable.
Là, il est très confortable.
Now let's just one out. See?
Là, j'attrape juste un côté.
So you gotta be able to do this. You
Je dois
start
être capable de
turning.
faire ça.
So once I can do this, it means I can do this.
Si avec l'un, je peux faire ça, ça veut dire qu'avec l'autre côté, je peux faire ça.
So I can get rid of his arm, which I don't need. Get rid of, like,
Donc, je peux dégager le bras qui ne me gêne pas.
loose. The most simple way to get to the triangle position. Look
C'est
at
pas
this.
facile pour arriver dans la position du triangle.
Hop. Now, I can either adjust my hip, either adjust him. I can push him. Like, let's say, all I need, get his neck as close as possible to my.
Et c'est
Whatever.
lui qui est proche de, vous imaginez,
Okay. So I control him. Now I see, like, if he comes here, he's too
maintenant
high.
je regarde comment il tombe, là il est trop haut.
So I want to adjust a little bit.
Voilà, donc je l'ajuste un petit peu.
So see, I can cross it without any extra help. But I don't need to do this. I can do it by
Pas
myself.
besoin de m'aider avec autre chose, avec les mains, tout ça.
Because the position is right.
Parce que la position, elle est juste.
Now we gotta remember two things you have to do. First, you push his elbow around and away from
Non,
you.
vous voyez, vous poussez son épaule, son coude autour.
Because the whole choke comes from his own shoulder.
Parce que l'étranglement il va venir de sa propre épaule.
Right. And next is just to pull back, pull head on his own
Et
shoulder.
après, donc, je vais tirer sa tête sur sa propre épaule.
Okay? This is like two things you have to remember.
C'est deux choses dont vous devez vous
Push arm
rappeler.
across,
Pousser l'arme
and push away,
autour en croisant
and push the head down.
et tirer la tête en bas.
Okay? But I purposely want you to do it
Ce que je vous propose de faire,
from this position because
depuis cette position.
you're already going to know how to get
Parce que comme ça, vous saurez comment trouver la bonne
to
position.
get one arm and one head,
Pour trouver un
not
le
two
bras et la
heads,
tête.
one arm.
Et pas deux têtes et un bras.
Okay? So we're starting. See this?
Vous voyez comme ça? Vous voyez ça?
By doing this, I got rid of his arm, and I already adjusted his position for me. Perfect now. See? But you don't need to act like this. You gotta act like a man. Stay in it.
Fais comme si tu faisais vraiment.
See? Don't fall. I mean, just.
Ne tombe pas.
Vas-y,
Ne tombe pas.
Yeah. See? Either I push him, either I push myself.
En même temps que je le pousse, je me pousse moi-même.
But position is perfect.
Mais la position est parfaite.
If I can do it without the help, means I was in the right place.
Si j'arrive à le faire sans aide, c'est que j'étais à la bonne place.
Right. Aside, away, and down.
Pousser sur le côté et puis tirer la tête en arrière.
Sorry. Here is also, you can grab like the scalp.
Tu peux attraper aussi le scalp là derrière le crâne.
See, I can choke him without doing anything because.
Je peux l'étrangler en attrapant n'importe où.
Right. So that's an idea
Ça, c'est une idée.
for you. Okay? Let's try.
Essayez.
One more time. Encore. Yeah, oui, perfect. That's good. Beautiful. One more time. Encore. Oui. No. That's You like a man. Oui, encore. Good. Encore. One more time. Guys, look at the best students. Look at the best students. And remember, look at him. Look at him. Go. Where? Okay. All right.
Olé? I'm Mr. Six?
Yeah, translate it. But you mean from here?
Yes. C'est ça que tu veux voir?
Yeah, but
Ouais, parce que quand il vient prendre les premiers temps.
but step by step, slow. You have to practice it. You gotta break it in 3 étapes.
Vous devez le faire en 3 étapes. Il faut le travailler en 3 étapes.
Yeah. But for this one, everything been explained in the video.
Mais chaque chose est bien expliquée dans la vidéo.
So it's many things.
Mais je voulais l'avoir là sur le tapis.
But he wanted to see you on the mat.
Okay. I got it. You sure it's right translation?
one thing you gotta keep yourself up.
Ce que je vais faire, c'est se soulever.
For example, yeah. Sorry, don't fall on the ground. I try to stay above his knees.
Il se jette pas par terre. Il essaie de rester le plus haut
Ouais,
possible
bon.
dans ses genoux.
And he should tap out before he falls.
Et il doit taper même avant d'être par terre.
Yeah. My friend does it with both legs, both arms. Just from here, he goes right there. Up here. Very high. Like that, very good technique. Goes for that both legs.
Il va le faire sur les
Like
deux.
he doesn't even hold himself. That's how good he is. Like he's fighting.
Il combat, il combat, il combat.
Come back. And from here, he already goes. Maybe here, maybe something else.
One again.
No, you don't need to practice this one. You got step by step. Maybe I'll come, maybe you guys watch. We'll bring our way here. So we break it step by step. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to.
Ça prend entre 15 et 20 minutes pour travailler 3 étapes. Il dit, je reviendrai ou moi je viendrai.
But it's better to start from your knees. It's better to practice.
C'est mieux de travailler depuis les genoux.
Right. Okay, this guy is going to be tortured.
Ce garçon va être torturé.
I said torture. Fine. Get in shower.
Pour moi maintenant c'est temps de prendre une douche.
Vous voyez tout là? Okay. Okay.